Hey there friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and the Rocket Titan build is back in Destiny 2 with episode Heresy Act 3, thanks to some new artifact perks. I was using this to absolutely blow through the Quarter Blades activity, clear ads really quickly, do a bunch of damage, and really change up the way I'm running this build in a way that I thought was very, very fun. I'm also going to be taking this into the Rights of the Nine activity once that does drop as well, and I think it will be very useful there as well. Now, starting off, I am using the Barrow Dyad. If you haven't upgraded this recently, it can be very, very good, so definitely try to snag the new Intrinsic as well as the new Catalyst if you have not already. I'm also going to have on Indebted Kindness. Rocket Sidearms obviously fit thematically with the build, but also this one absolutely slaps and does a lot of useful things as well. As far as the rocket, I'm running Crux Termination with Clown Cartridge and Explosive Light. I wanted to keep an arc rocket launcher here. I also wanted to have Explosive Light because I'm generating a lot of orbs to keep high uptime for that. Best ease of use option, but you can rock some other rocket launchers if you have a different favorite, but I'll explain why I'm running this one a little bit more in depth a little bit later on. I'm also going to be using the Hazardous Propulsion. Weapon precision hits or final blows have a chance to load kinetic rockets. Activating your class ability fires the loaded kinetic rockets, damaging targets with Exodus rockets temporarily increases the damage you deal with all other rockets. So essentially, you can get a bunch of kills and then send out some rockets and then increase the damage with your rocket launcher and rocket sidearm as well. As far as the abilities, Thunder Crash is the obvious one, as well as Rally Barricade because of the aspect I am running. I also have on Thunderclap, but you can use whatever melee, it doesn't really matter. And then Pulse Grenade is really nice. Now, you can swap out Touch of Thunder with the Pulse Grenade for something like Knockout in order to regen health a little bit more, but I find it's not super effective, and having those extra ionic traces is more useful. I also have on Storm's Keep. This is the obvious best in slot for arc aspects this season, and you essentially just cast your class ability, sending out your rockets, and then generate bolt charge and also make yourself amplified. There's a lot of bonuses there that are going to be working this season, so it's very, very effective. Fragments, we got beacons, so that way when I'm amplified, my arc special or heavy ammo final blows create a binding explosion. This can work with both my rocket sidearm and also rocket launcher. That's why I do want to have on my arc rocket launcher in that slot. Amplitude, so that way defeating targets when you're amplified creates overpower. And then because of the artifact perk this season, I am amplified all the time as long as I have max bolt charge, which is very nice. Then we got ions, so defeating a jolted or defeating a target with a bolt charge creates an ionic trace, so I'm doing that pretty consistently because I have bolt charge all the time. And then discharge, so that way collecting an ionic trace grants bolt charge, so I just can kind of stack up the bolt charge as well. Plus arc weapon final blows have a chance to create ionic traces, and I'm doing that very consistently. As far as the mods go, I am running Arc and Strand Siphon as well as Heavy Ammo Finder, Arc Loader, and then Heavy Handed. You've got on damage resist of whatever activity you need them, Absolution better already, Arc Weapon Surge, and then Time Dilation, Distribution, as well as Reaper. Now these are pretty flexible, you can swap those around just a little bit, but that's what I'm personally rocking. As far as the artifact perks that you should be aware of for this one, I do have on Heavy Ordnance Regeneration. Not really the most impactful, but it is nice because the rocket launcher grants damage resist and increases grenade and melee regen for a short duration, but you have to deal sustained damage. That's the only downside. Now, because of another perk, I am regenerating my ammo, so it can be a nice little bonus there if you're using it correctly. You could also swap this out for Defibrillating Blast if you are playing an activity that has a ton of champions. I also have on Limit Break, so casting a super while I have an elemental buff matching my super, grants a period of increased super damage. This is pretty consistent because I am almost always amplified or have bolt charge, so that's nice. Horde Shuttle, damaging unraveled targets with a weapon occasionally spawns a Threadling, which is nice. I can unravel very consistently with unraveling orbs, so picking up orb of power Grand Strand Weapons, Unraveling Rounds. That's where the Barodiad comes in really nicely. I also have on Flash Over when you gain maximum bolt charge. You also become amplified. This is very, very important. I want to be amplified all the time if at all possible. Plus lightning bolts deal more damage. Moving on, we've got the gold from lead. So picking up special ammo has a chance to grant heavy. In Court of Blades specifically, heavy is pretty infinite. So you can pretty much spam this. But even in other activities now, because I am essentially going to be snagging special ammo pretty consistently, I can get that heavy ammo back and use my rockets all the time, especially with perpetual destruction. So rapid final blows with non-exotic rocket launchers, refund ammo, and increase reload speed for a short duration. So the ammo goes into your reserves, not into your actual rocket. So you do have to reload pretty consistently. That's why arc loader is very, very important. But also keep in mind that you are refunding this ammo pretty consistently, and so I found that you only need to get a couple kills with this in order to generate it. So I do get a lot of ammo no matter what activity I am running. Elemental Siphon is also so nice. So rapid final blows with a weapon matching my super. Arc creates an elemental pickup that matches your super, so the arc traces as well, ionic traces as well. Very, very consistent there. And then finally, overclock and load while I'm amplified or have bolt charge. Arc weapons gain increased handling and reload speed. Once again, very, very handy. Plus, we got on Unstoppable Rocket Launcher, which is very nice in the Court of Blades as well. Overall, this build is incredibly fun in my opinion. Spamming rockets, spamming my barricade in order to send out rockets, and then using Barodiad when I am not spamming my rockets. And then I also have my Indebted Kindness as a backup as necessary. Now, some things to keep in mind. You don't have a ton of healing with this, so that's why it's very important. That's why I do have on the better already in order to snag orbs, which are going to be very plentiful with this build in order to start that healing. You can also toss on some other options like recuperation, so that way you replenish health as well, so you have a kind of a double whammy there. But I think that's unnecessary. As long as you play your life and play smart, you can't be super aggressive with this in comparison with other builds, but it does work out very, very well in my opinion. And against the majority of the bosses in the game, the majority of the encounters, you shouldn't have much of a problem staying alive as long as you are behind cover and really playing your life as necessary. Now, some other things to remember with this build that I find to be very fun. One, it is excellent for not only ad clear but also boss damage, and there's a nice cycle there because the Barodiad with the taken that it sends out can do pretty good boss damage, especially as it accumulates bolt charge and you do the extra lightning strikes. I'm not reliant on just my rocket launcher to do that boss damage, and so I could use my rocket to clear a ton of ads and just absolutely mow through them, and then potentially use my Indebted Kindness if I need to. But it's just a nice cycle that I find to be very, very fun and very effective as well across all different types of activities. I also found myself, when I'm doing Court of Blades, amongst the top in not only kills but also damage and then orbs generated as well. So doing all of that, not only am I helping myself, but I'm also helping my team by generating all those orbs and allowing them to really do a ton of supers as well, in addition to what I'm doing. So overall, this is one of my new favorite builds. I will be running it a lot in the foreseeable future, and I can't wait to test out some new things as well. I have a Strand build that I'm testing out because of some of the new artifact perks as well that I think could be very, very good, especially to shreds, which I think is very interesting. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video as always, comment, subscribe. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.